Hello everyone, my name is Ton Chauhan and you are watching the Technical Face, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use list in Python. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Alright everybody, let's start creating a list. So these are the topics that we are going to cover up in this tutorial. So first we're going to create a list, then I'm going to show you how you can sublist, you can slice list, and more coming up to this tutorial. Okay, so let's start. So first off, I'm going to create a list. In Python you can create a list of almost anything. You can have a list of string, have a list of integer, or anything at all. So over here I'm going to use a list of integers. So suppose you are a student in a school and you have a list of marks. Okay, so this denotes your marks. So say you have a marks of 90, 85, 82, say 77 and 62. Okay, so suppose this is your marks, all are sorted. So that's how you create a list in Python. You put the list inside the brackets, and basically we use list to create multiple variables in just one single line. So if you were to create a list of this, you will basically say marks in English is 90 and maths have 85, and so on and so forth. So instead of doing this, you can just say I have a list of marks, and you can add the marks inside the square brackets. Okay, so this is a list. Now let me print it out. So I'm going to print marks and I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so this is basically our list: 90, 85, 82, 77 and 62. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can sublist this one. So suppose you only want to show few of them. So I'm going to say sub marks. Okay, and I'm going to say marks, and inside these square brackets, what you want to do in order to create a sublist of this list. Sublist is basically few items from that list. So I'm going to put a colon in between them. So what it does is this point of this colon says I'm the start point of the list, and this point says I'm the end point of this list. If I leave this one empty, okay, let me show you directly. Okay, so suppose I say colon 2 and I print this submarks. Okay, what will happen is it's going to print two numbers starting from 0. So 0, 1. Okay, in programming, the program counts from 0 and not from 1. So for us it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but for computer it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it works. Okay, so it's gonna start from 0 and it's gonna end at 2, but not including 2. Okay, so it's gonna say like I'm at 0, 1, and I don't need to include 2, so it should be 0 and 1, and that's what you print. That's what you see over here. I can also say like and I can also say like 0 to 5, and then you will get the whole list. Sorry, say 0 to 4, and then you will see 0, 1, 2, 3, but not the fourth position. Okay, and as a start point, by default it was taking start point as 0 if you do not input anything over here. But if I input 2, see what happened. It's gonna say okay, I need to start from 2, which is 0, 1 and then 2, and I need to end at 3 excluding 4. So 0, 1, 2, this is my start point. I'm gonna write it over here. 3, yeah, this is less than 4. Okay, 4, no, I need to exclude 4 as this is my limit. So you can exclude that, and the result will be 82 and 77. If I leave 4 empty, just like the start point, it's going to consider the end of the list as the end point. So it's going to input 0, 1 starting from 2, as you can see over here, starting from 2 and ending at the end item of the list. Okay, so that's how basically you can sublist a list. And suppose you don't want the whole list, you want to print a part of this list. So what you can do is suppose you don't want the first and second items. Okay, before slice, I might want to show you how you can modify the list. Modify list. Okay, so I'm gonna say, suppose you want to modify the first two elements. So I'm gonna say first two elements, and say you want to modify first two element with 0 and 1. Now if you print this one, you will see that the first two elements are modified with the new values that you have assigned to them. So I have assigned 0 and 1 to the first two elements. Just like before, as we saw in the sublist, what it's going to say is this is the sublist of 0 and 1, okay, not including 2. So 0 and 1, not including 2. So these items are replaced with this item. I can also say, like, I want to start from 2 to 4. So it's going to include 2 and 3. So it will modify 0, 1, 2 and 3. So it's going to modify these two values with these new values. Let me show you. Okay, as you can see, the second index 0, 1, 2, second index is replaced with the new value of 0, and then the third index is replaced with the new value 1, but fourth index is not included. Okay, so that's how you can modify a list. If you want to modify just a single item, you can simply add the index of it, and you can change it to anything, say 5. Okay, so now what will happen is it's going to say 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to change the third index 77 into 5. Now if you run this, you will see the third index is then changed to 5. Okay, so that's how you can modify a single value. So this is about modifying the list. Now let's quickly go to the slice list. Now say you want to remove some items from this list. So similarly, just like before, you can just say this. Okay, so as you have seen how you can modify these values, but if I do not input anything inside these square brackets, what Python is going to do, it's going to remove the list. So I'm going to say, I'm going to print this one, and I'm going to print marks before that. Okay, so as you can see over here, this was our original list with 90, 85, 0, 5 and 62 total these elements. Now what I said is I want to remove from 0 and 1, and I want to remove them. So what happened is 0 and 1 are removed from this list, as you can see over here. Okay, so that's how you can remove the list. All the logic will go similar to this one. So if I input 2 and 4 over here, 2 and 4, it's going to remove the second and third index from the list. So as you can see, 0, 1, 2, second index and the third index is being removed from the list. So that's how you can slice a list. You can shorten a list. Now suppose you forgot some more marks and you want to add them to the list. So what you can do is you can say marks is equals to marks plus, and you can simply add more items. So I want to say like 45 and 62. Now when you run this, whoops, I forgot to print that. Okay, when you will run this, you will say this was your remaining list, but you added 45 and 62 into this list. Okay, and the shorthand of writing this is also this. Okay, so this is basically a shortcut of writing what you just seen before. So now the new list is 45 and 62. So that's how you can add another list. Now suppose you want to add a single item to this list, then there is a method called append, and now I can add a single item into this list, and when I will print this list, you will see I have added one more item. So it was this much, and then I said I want to append 88 into this list. So this is going to append 88 to the list, and our list size is increased. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty interesting, and these all are the most of the basic operations that you can perform with the list. Now let's see how you can use list with the for loop. In this area, if you have any doubts, please don't forget to ask them in the comments below, as this is a very basic functions that you're going to perform while using lists. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can use lists in a loop. So let's use a for loop first. So as we are using for loop traditionally in the previous videos, I'm going to do the same thing. So for I in range 0 to, now previously we were adding range like 0 to 5, and then we were supposed to print the I and all the thing. But now this time what I'm going to do is, since we have a list and we are working with the list, we want to loop through the list and not with these static values. So what I'm going to replace 5 with, I'm going to say length of the list. Okay, so marks is our list and I want this length of the list. I can also show you the output of this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say index. As you all know that I is the index, and now what I want is the value, and this is the value. Okay, now let's see what happens. As you can see, length returns 6. So what will happen is this loop will run from 0 to 6 but excluding 6. So that means this loop will run from 0 to 5 excluding the 6. As you can see over here, 0 to 5 excluding 6. Okay, so that's what range does. It gives you the range from 0 to 5 excluding that item, which was 6. Okay, over here as you can see, so the length of marks was 6. We've got 6 in the range, and then we start from 0, 0. The value of marks at 0 was 90, as you can see over here, and at 1 it was 85, and so on and so forth. This was the output of the list. You will see once you are in it, once you are doing this by yourself. Okay, so I would recommend you guys to keep doing this alongside with me, and not just watch it but do it along with me. Okay, so when you run the loop throughout the list, you can get the values using the I. So this was giving the index. There's one more shortcut for the for loop. Okay, so over here we wanted to print out the index, that's why we used this approach. But there is another approach that you can use that I'm going to show you right now. Suppose you don't want the index, you want the value directly. So what you can do is for mark, okay, in marks. So what this is gonna do is, this is gonna loop through this list. So over here we are not providing the range, we are providing the list itself. Okay, so if you add the list itself with the in operator, what it's gonna do is it's gonna return you the list item itself. Sorry for that. Okay, now this is called for each loop. Okay, over here you have the list, you pass in the list instead of the range like you do over here. So you pass in the list itself, and what it does is, this one is each item of this list. I can show you that values, and then you can see marks. Now when I run this, mark. Okay, now when I run this, you can see that the value is 90, 85, and all the value of your list all to the end. So it starts from 90 and ends at 88. As you can see over here, starts from 90, ends at 88. All 6 items are printed over here. Okay, so over here the disadvantage of this one is only that you will not get to see the index. Okay, you will not get index. So whenever you don't want index, you just want the values, you will use this approach. But whenever you want the index as well, okay, you care about the index, you will use this approach. Okay, so that's how you can use this in a for loop. And at last I'm going to show you how you can use this in a while loop. So I'm going to create a variable called I. I'm going to rename it as 0, and I'm going to say while this I is less than the length of marks is our list. Okay, so as you guys know, the while loop will run from i's, which is 0, to the length, which was 6, so one below the length, so 5. So this while loop will run from 0 to 5, and I'm gonna copy this thing over here, as the output will be same. Okay, but to demonstrate you guys better, whoops. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to increment the I. Okay, yeah, over there you go. Okay, what happened before was I forgot to increment the value of I. So I was always 0, so this loop will always run because I will always be less than the marks. But now what is happening is I'm increasing the value of I every single time this loop runs. So there will come a point when I will be greater than this, the length of these marks, which is 6. Okay, so over here you can see index was 0, so I was initially 0. Then we had the value of marks at 0, which was 90. Then I will increase to 1 and will go again, and so on and so forth. That's how the while loop will run and iterate throughout the list. So I've showed you how you can use a list with the loops, how you can perform different operations with the list. I hope you guys like this video. The exercise questions are displayed in the description below, so go check that out. Try to solve those questions, as they will definitely improve your programming experience. If you don't understand any of that, please let us know in the comment box below, because we will be happy to help you out. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video tutorial. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.